Hi everyone, welcome to Coloring with Lori. This video I'm going to cover some very basics of Polychromos, and my disclaimer here, I am not a teacher, this is not a tutorial, this is just me and how I use my Polychromos. So, I originally put all my pencils together in color order, and I had them swatched in color order with all the different brands. And my sweet 83-year-old mother cut and pasted my swatches together and put my Polychromos all on one sheet for my video tonight. So I have all my colors here cut and pasted onto a sheet. I have my set of Polychromos here, my very beloved Polychromos, beautiful pencils. This is like a combination of a couple small sets and open stock to create the full set. I do have some duplicates because I bought like the 12 set, the 24, the 36, and then filled in with the others. So I think I'm going to work in Rooms of Wonder. I've done some work in here with the Polychromos in the past. They seem to work out good. This is like half and half Lyra Rembrandt Polychromos. I think is all above here. I think Polychromos are along the side. Prismacolors is the whole back. This is definitely Polychromos. Polychromos. Polychromos there. Polychromos. And this was a test page. I'm not going to go into that right now, but I used these little tags on the page to label which pencils that I tested in the page, and kind of continued it over here because I have bought a couple new sets. But yeah, the Polychromos did very well. This is Polychromos. This is Polychromos. This is Polychromos. I find Polychromos the most suitable for small spaces because of the work that you have to put in them to get good results. Now, that's just my opinion. I don't use any solvents, blender pencils, or anything like that. This is a kind of 50-50 Polychromos and Prismacolors. Again, if you've watched my previous videos, I'm working on backgrounds because I feel my pictures lack in backgrounds. And see, as I look at this one, we could use some kind of background in there. Maybe a night sky. Seems to be a little bit in the evening. This picture here, I completed with a color along with Eileen teaching adult coloring. She live streams every night, and we did this picture together, kind of a buddy color for the channel. This picture I completed in January of 2024. I actually used metallic pencils for the tanks and the things around there. There's a lot of Polychromos in there. Just going to go through this really quick. This is also a combination of Polychromos and Prismacolors. Often I use Polychromos and my Lyra Rembrandts in small spaces like this because, as you know, the Prismas are very soft. It's hard to keep them a soft point. Polychromos are really good at doing like things like this and getting in the detail. They have a lot of, I call it like old colors. Like looking at these, you know, these rich reds, these deep dark greens, reds, blues. You know, to me, those are like old colors when you think about offices and those kind of things. I think I've colored that much more in here. Oh, my bedroom. Yeah. I did do this one. This is actually all Prismacolors and then gel pen. Oh no, that's a Prismacolor gold pencil. Oh, I'm sorry if you can hear that alarm in the background. Apologize for that. Doing a video. Apologize for that interruption. Also completed this picture. This was a buddy color with Amy that has some Polychromos. Polychromos is all the outside, a little bit of Prismacolors in the middle. So I thought I'd use this page and work with the Polychromos just a little bit. Show you how I use them. And again, not a professional, not a tutorial, not a teacher, just how I use the pencils. I pulled out juniper green, May green, and olive permanent green. I'm going to put a little bit of my lightest color down, May green. Very, very light coat. You have to really work with these pencils. You have to layer them. If you go in hard, you won't be able to blend out with another color. So they're kind of paper picky too. If you use them on a toothy paper, you probably will continue to see the tooth on the paper unless you use some kind of blender solvent. Mineral spirits, a lot of people use that stuff. I don't apply that at all. I'm not a professional. I just color in my books, do what I enjoy, which pencils are definitely my favorite medium. I do work with water medium a little bit. I have the Polychromos, the Albert Dürer, I don't know how to pronounce that, but the equivalent, the Faber-Castells and water pencils. And the two of them definitely work very well together. The colors are all the same. So you can do the watercolor base and then deepen it with your pencils, which is really nice for papers that don't have any tooth, because when you apply the water, you get a little tooth on the paper. This right here is why people don't like working with Polychromos. It's a very, very slow process to build up your layers. You have to go in very slowly, very lightly. And if you try to push it in like you can with Prismacolors and then smush your color, the Polycolors will not blend. They will not move. As you hear several people talk about, they are a layering pencil, but they will layer forever. You just keep building, 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 building. Build those layers. And the neat thing about that layering process, which I am starting to learn because I'm not super proficient with these pencils, is that you can create so many different colors You put a color on top of another color and layer them together, and they will create a different color. And that's something I am just beginning to learn, and hopefully will continue to learn. Can share that with you on the channel. This is not going to be a very long video again tonight, but I will get back to this. This picture is a buddy color with Teaching Adult Coloring with Eileen Vick. So this will be a picture that will be continued. Hopefully we can continue it together. Work on the greens and the pineapple. But as you can see, the Polychromos just keep layering and layering and layering, and you will get a very smooth blend. And again, if you go in too hard, they're not going to blend out. You'll get that very, very harsh line. They do erase pretty well. The other thing I've kind of noticed when I work with water medias, sometimes on some of the coloring book papers, they will bleed with water. So I don't know if that's because of the type of paper that the coloring book, you know, the coloring books are printed on. But okay, so that is pretty much done. Blended in there pretty well. Like I said, we can continue this picture if anybody would like to see me continue to work on this. Let me know in the comments below. It is a group buddy color for Teaching Adult Coloring with Eileen Vick. Would love for you to come over and join me, and we can do a video buddy color. I would even be willing to do it live. Let me know in the comments below. Really appreciate you watching, joining, commenting, liking. Thank you again to all the new subs. Had quite a few today. Thanks. Good night, everybody. Goodbye.